There are stories that entertain. There are stories that educate. But once in a lifetime, there comes a story that heals. This is the story of Makda Arshi, a woman who walked through silence, pain, self-discovery, and rebirth. A woman who found her voice not by being louder, but by learning to shine exactly as she is. And in 2025, the world noticed. Her book, Shining as I Am, captured hearts globally and earned her the International Impact Book Award. This is her journey. Makda's story is not one of overnight success. It is a story of struggle, reflection, courage, and transformation. A journey of a woman who learned that healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you have always been. So sit with this story, let it touch your heart. Because maybe, just maybe, her journey will remind you of your own hidden light. Makda grew up with a sense of quiet around her. She wasn't the loudest child. She listened more than she spoke. She felt deeply, even when she didn't have words for those feelings. While other children expressed freely, Makda often turned inward, thinking, reflecting, observing. Some misunderstood her silence. They thought silence meant weakness. But silence was her strength in disguise. It was in quiet moments that she learned to feel life more than just experience it. She absorbed emotions, stories, energy, all the things others overlooked. She was preparing, without knowing it, to become the voice for those who also felt unseen. As she grew, life began to demand answers. What is my place? Why do I feel different? There were days when the world felt heavy. Days when expectations and pressure tried to shape her into someone she was not. She tried to fit in. She tried to dim her light so others would be comfortable. She carried wounds that no one saw. But the truth is, when you hide your light, you do not protect yourself. You only lose yourself. Something inside her was calling, not loudly, but persistently. A whisper. You were made to shine. One day, Makda realized she no longer wanted to live in the shadows of expectations. She no longer wanted to shrink to be accepted. She wanted to live authentically. The turning point wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet decision, a promise to herself. Makda voiceover. I will no longer apologize for who I am. I will shine as I am. This was the beginning of her rebirth. Writing Shining as I Am was not just writing. It was healing. For every chapter she wrote, she unlocked a part of herself that had been buried. She wrote about self-acceptance, emotional resilience, identity, and belonging, healing inner wounds, becoming whole. She didn't write to impress. She wrote to release. To give voice to the quiet girl she once was. And to every person who has ever felt unseen. The book was not just words. It was her heart spilled onto paper. People who read the book felt understood in ways they couldn't describe. Readers wrote messages like, "Your book helped me find myself. I cried, because finally someone said everything I've always felt. You gave voice to my silent pain." Her story reached places beyond culture, language, and borders. Because the language of healing is universal. Her book was nominated for the International Impact Book Award. A moment that felt unreal. Makda Arshi's book Shining as I Am was announced as the winner of the International Impact Book Award. As applause filled the room, she didn't think of the award. She thought of her journey, her silence, her tears, her growth. She realized, this award was not a crown. It was a mirror, reflecting back the light she finally allowed to shine. Makda Arshi did not become great by changing who she was. She became great by embracing who she already was. Her message to the world is simple and powerful. You do not need permission to shine. You are already enough. Shine exactly as you are.